Hi everyone, I thought it would be fun today to have a go at one of the images from Imagimorphia by Kerby Rosanes. I just don't know. And I fancied having making a start on this particular picture here. Now this is essentially a cage morphing into plants and a bird. I thought we would concentrate mainly on the cage and make it a nice sort of metallic gold colour, and then we might have time to work on some of the other bits. I'm not intending on finishing this in a video, but I thought I would make a start. It could get you started on one of your pictures in the book and get you thinking about where to go on it from there. So to start with a gold, I always use a dark brown. So I am grabbing my Walnut Brown. It's a bit far away. I don't know how well you can see. Anyway, this is a Polychromos brown, by the way. And what we have is we have quite an advantage in Kerby Rosanes' books because he tells us where we need to put our dark colour. So where there is shading and shadow, we can start putting some darker brown bits. Okay. Now this is just our first of many colours. I'm also going to put a little bit here and fade it out a little bit. And a bit here, you can't see that, sorry, a bit on that end there. A little bit on the back here, just a few touches here and there. We want to leave some space for yellows as well. Okay, so that's the bottom. I'm going to do the next sort of a cross bit here. I'm thinking it would be quite dark on each side where it meets this the downward piece. But I want to keep this quite narrow because we haven't got a lot of space for other colours. But as you can see, I'm trying to follow the shading that's there already as well. We'll do a little bit here as it's marked, like that. And then we'll start coming in from here. We can do a little bit on that one. Sorry I can't zoom in hugely. I probably can zoom in a little bit more. I can't put my book up any higher. Hang on. So I can't really zoom in any more than that because my tripod gets in the way. But maybe that's a little bit more helpful for you, I'm not sure. I find with Kerby's books I can be quite rough with what I'm sketching out because that's sort of like his style. That's good. Now at the top here, where it hits this top piece, there's going to be shadow. It's going to be a little bit darker here and here. We'll worry a little bit about those bits that are popping out here and here. We're not going to go too far out over there, really. So now I'm looking at this shape. We've got a shape drawn here. Can you see that? So I'm just going to outline that slightly in my dark brown. Maybe it's slightly set in to there, and we've got a line here. I'm going to do a little bit on the inside as if this bit's sticking out, and here a little bit underneath, tiny bit around there, under here. Now I'm going to do a dark piece at each end of there, a little bit under there. Now I've got this sort of big bally round thing. I'm going to do a little bit on each side, a little bit on each edge, maybe a touch there and there. That's it for that colour. Now we're going to go down to a lighter brown. I think I will use this one. This is I'm trying to see what it is. It's going to roll away. It's very little. I'm just going to look him up in my book. He is the, oh, he's the brown ochre. Okay, so he's going to be my next choice, and basically I'm going to go back to all of the areas where I did that dark brown, overlap slightly with this one and pull that colour in. Down at the bottom here I'm going to do a fair bit because we've got a big area here to fill. But on most of the other areas like this one, whoops, I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm trying to go around in order to make sure I don't sort of miss anything. So I'll go all the way across the bottom and then across this way a bit. It's a bit blunt, I'm just going to give it a sharpen. There we go, that's better, look. We have got quite small areas to be colouring into. Now, I actually didn't go too far up here. These, I've got some, and this one is shorter. I'm just extending that because all the way through there, so I've just gone massively out of the lines. Over there, I'm just going to erase a little bit. Yeah, look, gosh, it's completely carried away with splatting colour around everywhere. It's lucky I don't use paint, isn't it? Right, where were we? We're going here, we're going up here now, I think. Up here, a little bit here and here. I have been tempted to use paint, I have to say. I look at watercolour pictures with, and they are so beautiful, and I think, oh, can I do that? My husband has got watercolour, and but when I show him people's watercolour colouring in type pictures, he goes, wow, that's really good. So that indicates to me that he can't do it either. He's been doing watercolour for years. It's not his style, but he wouldn't know how to do it, so he wouldn't be able to teach me. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's nice to learn new bits and bobs, but I feel like I'm still learning pencils, and I've got lots of nice pencils to use. Very lucky. I could do a bit at the end of there, a bit at the end of there, and extend that bit. Remember, we went into there, and a little bit more in these bits. A tiny bit on each end. And then we're going in each end of here, in these little bits. Now, the art to making gold look more real is to make it look shiny. And the way to make it look shiny is to leave some white paper. I'm going to bring that in a little bit more because it's quite a big space there to fill. Like that. Okay, our next colour is this one. It is green gold. You can see I like this colour. I have got another one, but this one isn't quite finished enough for my liking. So we're going over the top of that last brown, which I've now put away. I need to leave out so I can write it down for you. And you can see how this is really quite a goldy colour. Hopefully you can see. I know it's quite small. To say I can't zoom in any more so you can see the whole cage in shot. This is where using a small book can be advantageous because you can see more. I can move it around more under the camera. But hey ho, we've got a dark bit in there we need to be aware of. And here, just colouring all round there. A bit here, and here, and a bit here. Okay, and now I'm going to move to this bit. Start to bring this in. Now we haven't done much on this back bit, and I'm going to put a bit in now because we want darker shades back here, but we still want to see that it's got gold going on. okay. I've got a feather in the cage here left by the birds. I'm looking at these birds and they're drawn in all quite a similar way, which is nice. But they all look like they're different types of birds. So this looks like a hummingbird, but this doesn't. And there's one that looks more like a stork. So I'm not really sure about colouring those. I did wonder whether to just do them all the same colours to make it a bit easier. And we also have these items within them, like this little critter, this cube and things. I'm not sure what to do about those yet either. It's always a bit of a challenge thinking about, you know, what to do with everything, all those little bits and bobs in the picture. Okay, so we're going to bring that round more on that bit. Do a bit more in the centre of these, but making sure we leave a white space. Someone's doing their recycling a bit early. I think the bins go out later today. Bring that in, and this. Now here we've got quite a big area. Okay. Ooh, I've got an achy arm. Right, my next colour is, I'm just trying to read it, 184, which is dark Naples ochre. Okay, I'm going to use quite a lot of this overlapping the other colour, bringing it round towards the middle. This is almost our last colour. I've got one more after this. So we've got to start to be aware the fact that we need some white gaps, so we don't want to fill up all the space with this colour. So we've got some really little spaces here, so we don't want to do too much in them. We need to leave a bit of white on each of them. I hope you can see that it's beginning to look quite gold-like. Now gold does have lots of different colours. There's lots of different shades and types of gold. This is just the one that I tend to do, but you could do put some more orange in it. You can put more brown in it, and you can then get different looks. A sort of more antique type gold, or sort of more bright shiny gold. I'm not doing anything else in these now. I'm leaving those gaps. I'm just filling in a little bit more under here. So yeah, you can think about what sort of gold you want. I like to use quite a bright yellow for my last step. I think I'm going to use the light cadmium yellow. And what I tend to do is go over everything with this. And then we've got our last little bit here. We need to take it to white. We don't want to leave masses and masses of white. We just want to leave enough to make it look like there's some shine there. So just fade it right up and leave a bit of white. Same here. So we're going over all this over here and then leaving that bit and taking that bit up a bit. And here. Got my gap. As I said, I tend to go over the whole thing with this. It helps to blend it all together. And it also adds a little bit of vibrancy. Right, let's do this bit. And this bit. If it looks a bit too yellowy, you can add a bit more of the darker colours. Got quite big areas here we're filling in. It's up to you. Now this, you see, is going to turn into a plant, so I shall fade that into some green, I think. And we'll put some at the back here where we've got these gaps. We're not necessarily going to worry about leaving white back there, it's very black anyway. Take a bit along there, a bit along here, a bit there, a bit there. And we just need to do like the middle here. Try not to cover over too much of the white around this area. I find it better to leave quite a lot of white and then reduce it so that you can just keep an eye on what's looking right. There, I think that's done. I'm happy with that. Oh no, I haven't done these bits. I am wrong. There we go. So as I say, I'm going to do these greens. So what I will do is take this yellow, which is a lemony green. It's called lemon green, but to me, I think it's lemon yellow, sorry. Is it called? Cadmium yellow lemon. And I also think it's quite greeny, so I do a little bit here and here. And then we can fade it into a green. I've covered my greens up because I wasn't going to use them. Maybe a May green would be good. The May green, and blend that in like that. There we go. So you can see the yellow to green transition. You could do the tips of the leaves a bit darker if you wanted to. Like that. The ones that fade into the tails of the birds, going to have to decide what colour to do the tail. Now this one here is a little bit odd. It goes all the way along here and it's got a little flag hanging off it. And then it goes on to the next page here and it has a flower blooming off it, and it also turns into a bird's tail and a leaf, so it's quite a complex piece. But I would, we faded our gold out here, but I will probably go darker, lighter to darker again across here. So start dark there and start going darker again there, and leave a light bit somewhere in the middle for that. I haven't decided on the birds yet. I think there's an owl there. They're quite fun. I may still do them all the same colour as each other, but I'll have to have a think on that. But really this was about showing you how to do that cage, and I hope it was useful for you. I found it a really good fun, so I hope you enjoyed it as well. So thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.